Good morning. Welcome from the woods. This morning we're out in Lapeer County, Rich Township, over near Fostoria, south of Mayville a ways. 10-acre piece of property out here we're going to wander around and see today. Property does have, we'll pan around here a little bit so you can see. This is the front of the property. We're in probably 50-60 yards from the road. Those pines over there are right along the northern side of the property. And fruit tree there. There's another apple tree over there in that corner. And you can see the power lines up there. We'll swing around here and kind of quickly through that sun. Sorry about that. And we'll take a look off to the southeast and then swing around here, and you'll be able to see one of the neighbors' houses to the south. There are a couple of neighbors along this one along the south edge of the property up here at the road, and another over here to the north. There is a two-track path that comes in from the road and leads all the way back toward the back of the property. And get out here a little bit so you can see the neighbor to the north. So we're going to make our way a little further back into the property and see what we can see. All right, we've made our way back to the first county drain that crosses the property. It's more of a seasonal type deal here. Not a lot of water that stays in here all year long. It's springtime now, so we've had snow melt and rain, so there's going to be a little more water in here now than normal. You can see all the tracks headed back toward this food plot that's ahead of us here. But lots of deer and turkeys in here, and that's the rest of that drain headed to the southeast. All right, here is the first food plot. This one got put in August of last year. Turnips, rape, some clover in there. The deer just decimated all those turnips. They really got busy in there this year from the turnips. Looking off to be the southwest. Again, I had said earlier, there is a neighbor on both sides of the property up here in the front. And that's their property over there. And that is the neighbor's box blind. I don't believe he uses that anymore. I think that's, he shot a few deer out of that earlier, but I don't believe he's using it anymore. So we'll make our way further back. Stop here in the center of this food plot. And we are looking to the west. The property goes quite a distance back in there. We're probably not quite yet halfway back. And it also runs off a little ways to the north here. Property has been surveyed. There are stakes at the corners as well as some stakes down the lines of the property. This is looking off to the northwest. Again, part of this 10 acres goes out into that low spot and that deep grass out there. And you can get a little better look at the house over here to the north. And back down the two-track that we came in on. And now looking to the east and back up to the road. We're going to make our way more back to the west, so there's another food plot back there as well as a new cedar deer blind, and we'll go back and investigate that. All right, now we're officially about halfway back on the property. The trail continues on from here further back. You can hear the geese going by. Continues on back further west to the food plot, the deer stand, and then across the other county drain, and then there's some more woods in the back, so we're going to make our way back there. But Again, most of the front half of this property, there are some scattered pines and some smaller trees, but it's by and large mostly brush and grass, loved by the rabbits. And since those food plots have been put in, the deer are pretty active in here too. And I did see some turkey tracks coming back. We're starting to see some turkeys in here too. So we're gonna wander on back to the west and go take a look at that deer stand. Oh, we made a bit of a side stop over here along the south edge of the property. I wanted to show you over here what kind of view you have from here. The person directly south right there, they farm this area out here, and they brought in some cattle and some horses and ducks and geese and all that wonderful stuff up there by the barns. The cows do come back here to the fence, and they were quite busy investigating my son and I when we were back here planting these plots and putting in the blind. Fortunately, they didn't show up in our plots. They did provide us an audience. Oh yeah, and by the way, this property is owned by me and my wife. We're both licensed real estate folks here in Michigan, so just so you all know, it is a property that belongs to us. Any questions about that, certainly let me know. We do have a habitat map put together by a gentleman for giving us an idea of where we need to put plots and other things that we need to do out here. That'll go along with the sale, so the next person that steps in will have that to use as a guide too. All right, you can see the deer blind straight through the bushes over there. We're going to ease over there now. All right, some wood ducks going by. I don't know if we got them in frame or not. We are over the food plot now. This is the second food plot in the back. This one also turnips, rape, excuse me, clover, some different grasses and stuff in here. And the deer just went crazy over this year too. There's the cedar-sided box blind. It's about 5 foot up, raised. Definitely plenty of room in there for 2 guys. My son and I sat in there 3 or 4 times this year when we were out here. Didn't get any shooting, passed on a small buck, but definitely a whole lot more deer using this area now than prior to the food plots being in place. All right, we'll pan by here one more time. We are looking to the northeast right now. Lots and lots of bedding cover back here. That was kind of what drew us to this property. Lots of thick brush. We'll swing out here and get you a picture of the Second County drain, which is not much to it. Currently it's maybe 18 inches, 2 foot wide, probably a foot deep, but it stays pretty much like that most of the summer. You will see some wood ducks dropping in here very shortly. In fact, that's what flew by, so they're probably getting ready to start using this creek. They raised some babies in here this past spring, or last year rather, and we'll go back and take a look at that drain. All right, excuse me, we made it back here to the, believe it or not, the county drain. Again, this is probably at least twice as big as it is most of the year, but springtime, so still got frost in the ground out here. Had a pretty good snow melt and some rain, so there's good flow of water down through there right now. Again, loads of bedding cover out here. We'll make our way back into some of that. This is looking north, following where that drain rides down through there, that low area. All of this grass out in here that you'll see once summertime gets here and into fall is waist deep. Holds plenty of deer moving back and forth through here, lots of rabbits. I have heard pheasants out here though, yet I haven't seen one. There's our box blind. So we put the food plot just out of this deep grass. opened up an area there in the brush, planted the food in there, and again, it's getting good use. There's a view back to the east, and we are going to make our way back in the stick stuff. There is an opening under the trees, probably big enough you could throw another tree stand back in here in the southwest corner of the property. And we're gonna make our way back there right now. Well, bit of an adjustment to the plan here. My intent was to go across the drain and head on back in there to show you some of that woods, but trying that 3 or 4 times, the water's above the boots right now. So we're gonna stay on the dry side. Anyway, the property does go back into the bigger trees there. The center of the frame actually goes to the west side of those. There are half a dozen trees or so back there in that corner that you could throw a stand up in if you wanted to. Lots of deer runways going back through that corner. They also use the heck out of this swampy area out in here for bedding. And the property line is back just into the edge of those bigger trees back there that you see. And comes around over here, coming up about where you see that birch tree back there. And up past, just north of this big snag right here. It comes across, and that's the north edge of the property there. Coming back up, and we're behind a brush screen from the food plot, but it's right here. Anyhow, we have 10 acres worth of property here. Rich township, Lapeer County. Pretty decent deer hunting out here. Lots of wildlife, that's for sure. Great place to just kind of get away from things out here, which is pretty much what we used it for. Any questions? Feel free to give me a shout. This is Rick Patridge, real estate agent with Hunting for Land. And property will be up on the website. We do have a new website, just got it uploaded. So we're gonna get all this information over to my web guy, and it'll be showing up on the site soon. Thanks. You guys have a great day.